Good afternoon. How are you? Well, Thomas Jefferson's delivered a 74-degree afternoon. It's nice. And the humidity is 33%. And the wind is at a whistling 1 mile an hour. So, what are we going to talk about today? The economy is on our mind for a variety of reasons. And if you go shopping and you go to the big box retail stores, things may have already seemed a little more bereft of the items that you normally buy. But because of the world economic dystopia, we can't be sure that even these lower levels of production will persist. Now, for example, Walmart has a special way of dealing with its products. JIT, just in time. And what does that mean? Well, how does a big market like that work so that they have a profit? And part of the answer is that they don't have the goods in-house until they need them, just in time. And so, where are they? Well, they have contracts with others who agree to their approach, where these supplies are held and then brought to Walmart's. We are in a serious situation when it appears that those who supply just in time and in similar fashion to other big box outlets, that all of a sudden the pipeline is going to be squeezed and the food won't be there because of the tariffs. And when it is, despite promises by various politicians who need not be identified because they're well known, the cost of these goods, when they are present, may increase. This is the kind of making of a populist revolt. Now, today we're discussing global growth. And what's predicted is it's going to be slow. So it was 3.2%, and now it's drifted down to 2.8%. Now that's global growth. What about the United States? Well, if I understood the numbers right, it was 5.4, and now it's a third lower at 1.8%. So we're hurting. We're getting a prognosis. We don't yet feel it in its full vengeance against careless attitude in terms of tariffs and other economic policies. So that's a situation that we're in, and it's not going away. Now, we have a whole series of geniuses who brought us to this point. I suppose you could say something like, never trust a billionaire really to be much of a good businessman for you or for other products. Elon Musk is on my mind. The half of the odd couple in the White House. But I think they're suing for a separation agreement. Well, we had Musk telling us how to improve our government, and his firm is in free fall. We have a whole cabinet of people that, I've said this before, so I apologize, but they just weren't up to the mark. They hired people that don't know what they're doing, and this is what you get. How about, where in the world is Marco Rubio? Today, there was supposed to be a meeting in London to discuss what do we do about Ukraine. And it happened. Now, do you know what the sticking point was? That they want Zelensky to allow Russia to keep Crimea as Russian territory. Now, does anybody remember in 2014 when he aggressively came in and did exactly that, took it over? It's very interesting. These people with criminal minds and careless and ahistorical impressions of what happened don't remember that, again, the agent of change was an invading Russian force that then forcibly annexed Crimea, and now we're telling them, yeah, just agree to give them that territory and everything will be okay. Now, Zelensky said his constitution forbids such a move. There's a constitutional prohibition against him doing it. Now, you may remember Trump saying, you give me a day and I'll get that sucker. I don't know what the hell goes on in that guy's head. Talk about messed up adventurism. Talk about... Now, Walter Mitty thought he was great but didn't do anything, or wasn't great, was afraid and didn't do anything. I don't know if that's Trump. Trump is out of touch with reality. And the dangerous thing is he has the power to think he can do anything with his genius, not immediately evident to anybody who pays a few moments paying attention to the guy. So, what did our Secretary of State say? Well, you know, if Zelensky won't agree and Russia won't be, well, we're done. Wow. Is that a change in the opinion of the entire Republican Party of not too many years ago? Whatever happened to that? And Trump, after the meeting today, in which this proposal was on the table, slams Zelensky and makes it sound like Zelensky was responsible for this kind of national suicide rather than Russia, who charged in. And Trump, of course, says to Zelensky, hey, you know, this is it. This is the only way you're going to be free, because X years or 1 year from now, you're going to lose it all. Does anybody remember that Russia was going to win it all in 2 or 3 days years ago? You can't count Zelensky out, and Zelensky is making his own weapons. And with any luck, we'll have Trailer Park Trump leaving town as the humiliation continues, or his health gives out, or whatever, because everything is turning sour with this guy. And so we may finally get an American cabinet that has experience, has wisdom, has foresight, understands equity, understands tolerance, understands justice, understands the value of a republic, understands what it means to have a voting public with rights to vote. But right now we don't have that. We're working toward that. And we're going to get there. We're going to get there because Trump is coming apart. He compares himself to dictators who are successful because over years of patience and so forth, they build a system that sustains them. In the end, they all go down. You know, it's a ride on a comet and then a crash into the earth, burned up by the short energy that they have. But the mischief is real. The pain is terrific. And we're going through that now. And we have to just keep pushing the courts, pushing our elected representatives, contributing where we can to ACLU and attorney generals and anybody who understands that we're fighting for the life of a republic, because that's what it's about. Now, Musk has done his best to mess up America. And get this, he's leaving next month. His firm lost 71% in profits in the last year. Now that's a portfolio you'd like to take to investors, isn't it? The number of people who end up bleeding on the ground, metaphorically speaking, just don't stop. Rudy Giuliani, bang. That woman who wanted to have martial law, bang. They all go down. Elon Musk, boom, gone. And Trump just keeps going along, doing his thing. And, Trump couldn't let that go on so long. It was the presidential couplet. And so they broke up the nation, and now they've broken up with each other. And we'll see how that goes. I think of the pillow guy. That's another example. And dancing hands. And these people are strewn behind Trump all along the way. And does nobody get it? Does nobody understand that this guy wrecks lives? People think he's there for them, but he's not. He's not. Now, one of his recent proposals, I don't know if it's today, but we know how insensitive Trump is to the environment. And so it shouldn't surprise us that he is totally tone deaf to the fact that we already are bringing too many children into the world. And if you want to be pro-life, you get smart about encouraging children. They can be wanted and taken care of and as a resource, and are not becoming, by neglect, problems for themselves and for us. So Trump wants to have bonus baby payments, $5,000, an incentive for more moms. Are we kidding? Nature already takes care of that. Wisdom doesn't diminish it enough. Education is discouraged so that they would know how to take care of themselves. And I'm talking about all people. And you and I, those of us who are getting older, don't you wish they had a manual when we were in high school to say, you really should watch out for this or that could happen. And so, knock on wood, I've observed these things, but I realized that after 40, life's a rearguard action. And, what you eat is one direction, and how you exercise is another, and you have to make that work for yourself, because your body says, I did all I'm going to do. And so, Trump, who doesn't understand this, I don't know what he takes, but I'm sure some people say, can I look in your medicine cabinet? But he is going to do more damage to the world with all the different things he does. And this is just another bad idea of his. And why does he want more children anyhow? Well, we need these soldiers. This guy believes he's Alexander the Great, and he's not. And some say that Alexander, Aristotle said this basically, that Aristotle said that if he had just stayed with Aristotle longer and been educated better, he would have done better than dying at 33, combination of drunk and wounded. So Trump was never going to achieve anything like that, if it is a worthy achievement to have. And he will pass. And frankly, it can't be soon enough for the nation. However, metaphorically or truthfully, that's what happens. That's good for America. Good for the world, too. This person has decided to have more children, to fight wars, to dilute the number of people who need a job with more people, so that the cost of labor is cheaper because there's so many in the supply side method that we look at these things. And then Trump has time to go out and want to put up 200-foot flagpoles. What is this guy? He wants to put gold all over the Oval Office. And meanwhile, the democracy, those who are looking at electoral politics, that's not where to go. It's not where to go. These guys will break our heart. They won't do it. They won't say what's necessary to win the republic. And an example are the quitters. Senator Durbin, he's going to leave the Senate seat. So, will we have control of the Senate in the elections? I don't know. We turned it into a crap game. And that's what we're going to come out of it with. So when people are telling you things are okay, don't be lulled as one of these grifters, political or otherwise, tries to convince you that, it's going to be okay. Well, it may be okay, but it's going to take vigilance. It's going to take push. It's going to take us talking. It's going to take us pushing people around in the sense of making them think about these things. And it's supporting those who have the nerve to go out there and fight for this country and for each other. So that's what I got today. And so I say goodbye to you from my Cathedral of Trees. Hope to be out again tomorrow. Hey, no CMs today. All the best. Bye.